Hello, and welcome to Healthy Aging Bites, your trusted space for science-backed nutrition and wellness advice designed specifically for those of us enjoying our golden years. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, this is where we turn everyday choices into powerful tools for better living. Now, let me ask you something that might sound a little surprising at first. What if the milk you drink each morning, the same one you've probably had for decades, is quietly making you feel more tired, less clear-headed, and even putting extra strain on your heart? It might seem hard to believe. After all, milk has always been marketed as the ultimate health drink. And for many of us, it brings back warm memories, childhood breakfasts, Sunday desserts, and morning cups of coffee shared with loved ones. It feels familiar. It feels safe. But as someone who has spent over 30 years practicing geriatric medicine here in the United States, I've seen firsthand how some types of milk, while comforting, are no longer ideal for our aging bodies. What used to work in our 30s and 40s might now be slowing us down, raising cholesterol, spiking blood sugar, and even contributing to memory problems. The good news is, we can make smarter choices without giving up that sense of comfort. Today, I'll be guiding you through 3 types of milk that seniors should strongly consider avoiding and 3 better options that can help support better digestion, sharper thinking, and a stronger heart. But before we dive in, do me a small favor, hit that like button, subscribe to Healthy Aging Bites, and share this video with someone you care about. Every click helps us keep creating content that matters to you. Alright, let's take a closer look at what's really in that glass of milk and why it might be time for a change. Part 2. The 3 types of milk seniors should avoid. Let's start with something that might sit in your fridge right now. 1. Whole milk, the familiar comfort that's no longer so safe. For decades, whole milk has been a staple in American homes. It's part of childhood breakfasts, family recipes, and holiday traditions. There's something comforting about its rich, creamy taste, a sense of security wrapped in a cold glass. But for those of us over 60, what was once comforting may now be quietly working against us. As we age, our metabolism naturally slows down. Our arteries stiffen, our organs lose some efficiency, and our heart begins to work harder to perform the same tasks it used to do with ease. Whole milk, unfortunately, is packed with saturated fat more than 4.5 grams in just 1 cup. That may not sound like much, but day after day, year after year, it adds up. Saturated fat increases levels of LDL, or bad cholesterol, and that means higher risk for heart disease, stroke, and silent high blood pressure. I remember treating a patient named Robert, 72 years old, still mowing his lawn, sharp as ever, but he began experiencing subtle chest tightness and shortness of breath just walking up the stairs. He hadn't changed anything in his routine, except he'd returned to drinking whole milk every morning, thinking it was better than processed alternatives. When we reviewed his cholesterol and blood pressure, the numbers told a different story. Cutting out whole milk and switching to a lighter, heart-friendly option made all the difference. Whole milk can also contribute to unwanted weight gain, something that puts added pressure on aging joints and increases insulin resistance. And then there's lactose. Many older adults develop lactose intolerance without even realizing it. The bloating, sluggishness, or stomach discomfort you feel after drinking milk, it might not be just your age. It could be your body telling you, I can't process this the same way anymore. The truth is, what worked in our 30s might not serve us in our 60s. Whole milk isn't bad, but for an aging body, it's no longer ideal. 2. Sweetened condensed milk. A spoonful of sweetness that costs too much. Now let's talk about a sweet favorite one that appears in many of our fondest memories. Sweetened condensed milk. It's rich, creamy, and undeniably nostalgic. Whether you stir it into your morning coffee or drizzle it over a slice of pie, it's a taste that brings back Sunday dinners and family gatherings. But for older adults, that familiar sweetness is carrying a hidden danger. Just 1 tablespoon of sweetened condensed milk packs nearly 10 grams of added sugar. And let's be honest, we rarely stop at just 1 spoon. For those of us whose bodies are no longer managing blood sugar as efficiently, this can be like pouring gasoline on a smoldering fire. It spikes blood sugar levels rapidly, putting extreme pressure on your pancreas and inching you closer toward type 2 diabetes or making an existing condition worse. I once worked with a lovely woman named Judith, 67, who never missed her 3 p.m. cup of tea. She always added 2 heaping teaspoons of condensed milk. When her doctor diagnosed early cognitive decline and elevated blood sugar, she was shocked. She didn't eat cakes or candy. But when we traced her habits, that daily cup of tea with its sugary secret was doing more damage than she ever imagined. Science is catching up with what we're seeing in real life. Chronic sugar intake, especially in concentrated forms like condensed milk, is now linked to neuroinflammation and even Alzheimer's. Some researchers have gone as far as calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes due to its strong connection to insulin resistance in the brain. What may begin as forgetfulness or brain fog could, in part, be your brain struggling to manage the long-term effects of hidden sugars. And let's not forget the digestive system. Thick, syrupy milk slows digestion, causes bloating, and leaves many seniors feeling lethargic, not energized. We're not saying you can't enjoy a little sweetness now and then, but that little spoonful of comfort might be costing you more than you think. 3. Rice milk. Light on the tongue, heavy on the consequences. Rice milk is often marketed as a gentle, plant-based alternative to dairy, and on the surface, it sounds like a good option. It's easy to digest, lactose-free, and often labeled as heart-healthy. For many seniors, that sounds like exactly what we need. But here's what the marketing doesn't tell you. Rice milk is extremely low in protein, usually less than 1 gram per serving. And for aging adults, that's a problem. After the age of 60, we begin to lose muscle mass more quickly. Without sufficient protein intake, the body struggles to maintain strength, balance, and mobility. What looks like just aging might actually be the result of nutritional depletion. But here's the bigger concern: inorganic arsenic. Rice absorbs more arsenic from the soil than most crops. While regulated, the small amounts still found in rice milk can accumulate over time, especially for those of us whose liver and kidneys aren't detoxing as efficiently as they used to. Long-term arsenic exposure is associated with increased risk of bladder, lung, and skin cancers, as well as kidney damage. I had a patient named Alan, 69 years old, a lifelong health-conscious man. He'd switched from cow's milk to rice milk years ago, thinking he was doing his body a favor. But after unexplained fatigue and mild kidney function changes showed up in his lab work, we dug deeper. Rice milk, his daily beverage, had likely played a silent role. Even beyond the arsenic risk, rice milk is high on the glycemic index. It spikes your blood sugar quickly, often without the fiber or fat to slow absorption. For seniors managing pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, this makes it one of the least stable choices despite being dairy-free. These 3 types of milk, while familiar and even nostalgic, may no longer be supporting your health the way they once did. In fact, they may be holding you back from feeling your best. But don't worry, coming up next, we'll explore 3 milk options that not only support your aging body, but may actually help reverse some of the silent damage done over time. And one of them might just become your new favorite bedtime ritual. Stay with me, you don't want to miss this. Part 3. The 3 milk seniors should choose daily. We've talked about the milks you might want to leave behind, the ones that no longer serve your body the way they used to. But here's the good news. There are better options. Healthier, lighter, and more in tune with the needs of an aging body. They don't just avoid harm, they actively support your heart, your bones, your digestion, and even your mind. Let's start with one that might surprise you. 1. Fermented soy milk, the unsung hero for aging muscles and memory. If there's one milk I recommend most often to my senior patients, it's fermented soy milk. Not just plain soy milk fermented. This small difference can have a big impact. Why? Because fermented soy milk delivers what many seniors are missing: complete protein. That means it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to rebuild tissue and preserve strength. And after the age of 60, that matters more than ever. Muscle loss accelerates. Bone density starts to decline. Even balance and coordination begin to shift. Protein is no longer just important, it's essential. I had a patient named Clara, 74, who was doing everything right, staying active, eating plenty of vegetables, walking every morning. But she still felt weak and was having trouble getting up from chairs. When we looked at her protein intake, it was surprisingly low. Once she started adding a glass of fermented soy milk to her daily routine, not only did her strength improve, but she also reported sleeping better and having fewer digestive issues. That's the magic of fermentation. It pre-digests the complex parts of soy, making it easier to absorb, especially for aging digestive systems. It also introduces probiotics, those good gut bacteria that help with regularity, immunity, and even mood. For people with sensitive stomachs or slow digestion, this makes fermented soy milk both nourishing and easy to tolerate. But there's more. Soy contains natural plant compounds called isoflavones, which gently mimic estrogen in the body. This is particularly helpful for postmenopausal women who are at greater risk for bone loss and cognitive decline. Studies show that isoflavones can support bone strength and even help with memory retention. So, if you're looking for a milk that strengthens muscles, protects your bones, supports digestion, and helps sharpen your thinking, fermented soy milk is a quiet powerhouse. 2. Unsweetened almond milk. Light, clean, and gentle on the heart. At first glance, almond milk might seem too thin, too light, too subtle to make a real difference, but that's part of its charm. What it lacks in thickness, it makes up for in heart health, simplicity, and ease on the body. Unsweetened almond milk contains no cholesterol and almost no saturated fat. Instead, it's rich in monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil, which have been shown to support healthy cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of heart disease. For seniors managing high blood pressure or cardiovascular risk, this is a no-brainer choice. But the benefits don't stop there. Almond milk is also one of the best sources of vitamin E among non-dairy milks. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that helps protect your cells, especially brain cells, from oxidative stress. Research continues to show that vitamin E may play a role in slowing cognitive decline and supporting memory in older adults. One gentleman I worked with, Richard, 76, had been dealing with bloating and gas every morning after his usual cereal and milk. When he switched to unsweetened almond milk, the difference was almost immediate. He told me, "I didn't realize how heavy dairy made me feel until I stopped drinking it." Within a few weeks, he felt lighter, more focused, and was even sleeping more soundly at night. Almond milk is naturally low in calories, only 30 to 40 per cup, making it perfect for anyone looking to maintain a healthy weight without sacrificing taste or satisfaction. It's versatile too. Use it in smoothies, over oatmeal, or stirred into your morning coffee for a gentle start to your day. Just make sure to go with the unsweetened version. Skip the added sugars and focus on what your body truly needs: clean, heart-smart nourishment. 3. Calcium-fortified oat milk. Comfort for the bones and calm for the soul. Now let's talk about oat milk, a choice that has quietly become one of the best-kept secrets in senior nutrition. There's something deeply comforting about oat milk. It's smooth, slightly sweet even when unsweetened, and feels warm and familiar whether poured over breakfast or sipped from a warm mug before bed. But oat milk is more than cozy. It's powerful. Fortified oat milk is typically enriched with calcium and vitamin D, two nutrients that become absolutely essential as we age. Bone loss is one of the most silent but dangerous issues for older adults. A small trip can lead to a serious fracture. A fracture can lead to months of recovery or even permanent loss of independence. I once treated a woman named Denise, 78, who had lost 2 inches in height over the years and didn't know why. She'd never had a fall. But after a bone density scan, we discovered she had significant osteoporosis. Together, we adjusted her diet, and oat milk became part of her daily routine. A year later, her follow-up scans showed slowed bone loss and improved vitamin D levels, all from small, consistent changes. Oat milk is also rich in beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber that helps lower cholesterol and support heart health. It binds to cholesterol in the digestive tract and helps remove it from the body, a gentle, natural way to care for your heart without adding another pill to your routine. And don't underestimate the emotional benefits. A warm glass of oat milk in the evening can help calm the nervous system, especially when enjoyed in a quiet, mindful setting. There's something almost therapeutic about it, like a signal to your body that it's okay to rest now. In a world where so many things feel rushed or uncertain, oat milk offers a little pocket of peace and a big boost for your bones, heart, and sleep. These 3 milk choices, fermented soy, unsweetened almond, and calcium-fortified oat, aren't just healthier alternatives. They're proactive tools. Simple, everyday choices that speak directly to the needs of an aging body. And best of all, they don't just prevent problems, they help you feel better, more energized, more focused, more at ease in your own body. In just a moment, we'll wrap up this journey with one final takeaway that might just change how you look at every glass you pour. But first, let's take a deep breath and remember, it's never too late to make a better choice. Part 4. Final thoughts and takeaway. So here we are at the end of a glass, and maybe the beginning of a new habit. What we've learned today is simple but powerful. The kind of milk you choose isn't just about taste or tradition. It's about the message you're sending to your body. At this stage of life, every choice matters more. Not because we're weaker, but because we're wiser. You don't have to overhaul your whole diet. You don't need to chase fads or fear food. What you do need is clarity and the courage to make small changes that support your energy, your independence, and your well-being. Whether you decide to swap out your usual milk for a heart-friendly almond milk, a protein-rich fermented soy milk, or a bone-strengthening oat milk, know this: you're investing in your future self. You're saying, I'm not done yet. I'm still growing, still caring, still showing up for myself. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean refinement, choosing only what serves you best, and letting go of what no longer fits. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for the milk, pause for a second. Ask yourself, is this helping me feel more alive or slowly wearing me down? The answer might surprise you. And if this video helped you think differently, even in a small way, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Healthy Aging Bites, and share it with a friend or family member. You never know whose life you might change just by passing this along. Thank you for spending this time with me. Until next time, stay well, stay curious, and never stop choosing what's best for you.